it's me. I don't usually talk to you, but my baby's gonna leave me, and there's something you must do. And I am not your faithful servant. Hang around sometimes with a bunch of your black sheep. But if you make my baby stay, I'll make it up to you. It's a promise I can keep. Hey Jesus, it's me. I'm the one who talked to you yesterday. I ask you please, please, please for a favor, but my baby's gone away. Went away anyway. And I don't really think it's fair. You got the power to make us all believe in you, and then we call you in our despair, and you don't come through. Hey Jesus, it's me. I'm sorry. I don't remember everything I said. I had a few, no, too many, and they went straight to my head and made me feel like I could argue with God. But you know, it's easy for you. You got friends all over the world. You had the whole world waiting for your birth. But now I ain't got nobody. I don't know what my life's worth. I'm not gonna call you anymore. I'm sure you got a million things to do, but all that I was trying to do was to get through to you. Get through. And when I die and I get up to your doors, are you even gonna let me in the place? How come I gotta die to get a chance to talk to you face to face?
Hey Jesus, it's me. Even though I am your faithful servant, an ordained UCC minister in Oklahoma City, I don't usually talk to you. I preach about you. I read about you a lot. I think about you often and ponder what you would do in situations I face. But I guess I don't usually talk to you. So here goes. First off, thanks for the Indigo Girls. They talk about you and God and the Bible sometimes, which is why we decided to use their music as our Pride worship theme this June. As you know, I had all of their CDs in high school and would listen while driving to school with my best friend. One day when this song, Hey Jesus, came on, I began to skip over it because it was the only Indigo Girl song that made me uncomfortable. I felt like it was blasphemous. Back then, I had an unwavering, naive Christian faith, and I didn't trust anyone who said they weren't going to call on you anymore. but my best friend stopped me. She was a WWJD Christian as well. We wore those rainbow What Would Jesus Do friendship bracelets from Mardell. She said she had empathy for the character in this song. I decided to re-listen with an open heart and mind. What I finally heard was someone in grief and desperation. A person hurting and willing to argue and bargain with God if that's what it took. I heard someone questioning their own life's worth. One who had reached the end of their rope. Apathy. And more than anything, someone who longed to be embraced and talk with you face to face. All these years later, I know that feeling. So I guess I'm going to ask you, please, for a favor. I am calling to you in our despair, and I'm hoping you will come through. Things are bad, real bad. Black people are continuing to be murdered because of white supremacy, which is embedded in all of our systems and institutions. It is embedded within me. The guy at the White House is inciting violence and using your church and Bible as a prop for a photo op. Transgender folks are ridiculed, denied gainful employment, and murdered as well. Lots of stuff got burned and looted. Peaceful elders, teens, and pastors that I know have been tear gassed and shot in the head with rubber bullets by police. And oh yeah, there's a pandemic going on, and 383,000 people have died from the virus. We're not supposed to hug each other. Jesus, I know that you saw me crying and raging and checking out. You watched me arrive at the protests, and you watched me walk away from them about an hour later. You saw me unable to unplug from social media. You watched me attempt to view Mr. George Floyd's funeral on television, and you saw me too emotionally and physically exhausted to finish watching it. Jesus, remember when you said that the last shall be first and the first shall be last? When will that be? Is it time for Black and brown and women and trans folk to be first? First in line for justice, for grocery stores on the northeast side of town, for callbacks when resumes are turned in, for equal pay, for bank loans and bail money and basic human dignity. In that last paragraph of the Gospel of Matthew, which talks about your life, it says 11 of your friends gathered on a mountain in Galilee, and you sent them out from their hiding places. You told them to go, to baptize, to teach your ways of nonviolent redemptive love. That book says you promised to be with us always, even until the end of the world. Even though I don't usually talk to you in this way, I do feel your presence often. I experience the truth of your promise, that you are here with us always, especially when it feels like the end of the world. When we are in grief and desperation, when we are hurting and arguing and bargaining with God. Even though I don't talk to you very often, I see your face. I see you in the faces of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery. I see you within the 6-year-old daughter of George Floyd who smiled and said, "Daddy changed the world." I see you in the big yellow Black Lives Matter words painted on the street leading up to the White House. I see you in spray-painted murals beside our own church building and dropped off bouquets of flowers at that desecrated yet sacred site of Mr. Floyd's funeral. I see you in the nonviolent resistors and protesters, and the more than 200 lawyers who offered to represent those arrested free of charge, and the public servants who showed up to listen to the cries, laments, and demands of the oppressed. I see you in the faces of white folk who are finally speaking up and acting out, even while scared of saying the wrong thing. I see you in celebrities and on-the-ground activists demanding commutation for Julius Jones, a Black man sentenced to death here in Oklahoma for a crime he did not commit. I see you at work in the Oklahoma City Pride organization when they decided not to put up with anti-Black sentiment on their board this week, and in the LA LGBT Pride Parade, which has decided to host Black Lives Matter solidarity marches instead. Jesus, my heart breaks when your beloveds question their own life's worth, when they reach the end of their ropes and become apathetic, when they need nothing more than to be embraced. The songwriter said, "I'm not going to call on you anymore, but I know I will. I know you've got a million things to do, which is why you need our help. I know it's not so much that we have to get through to you, but that you've been trying to get through to us. Because when I die and I get up to your doors, I know who I'm going to see when they let me in the place." George, Brianna, Ahmad, Trayvon, Tamir, Terrence, Sandra, Jamar, Mike Brown, face to face. Jesus, help us to be your faithful servants, to hang around with a bunch of your black sheep, to make promises for Black lives to matter, a promise we will keep.